Are you curious about wiring? If so, today's quick video is for you. We're going to wire an amaryllis. Sure, you've wired ranunculus and maybe some spray roses in your day, but what about this? What about if you want to put this into a beautiful bridal bouquet as a focal flower? Well, today I'm going to show you how to do it. I have 2 pieces of wire, 20 gauge. The thing about wiring is that there is a little bit of like a feeling to it that you develop over time, the more and more that you wire. And so it might not be 20 gauge for a particular flower in all situations. You're going to need to learn the way that it feels so that you don't damage the flower, but that it's also very secure. So what we've got, I've just gone straight through and I'm landing that right in the middle of the flower, and then I'm going to gently bend it downwards. Amaryllis are tricky because, as you can see, they have these crazy daisy stems, so we can actually wire it, and that opens up the options for what we're able to do with the flower. So we're creating a flexible stem with this wire. And since I'm going to put it in a bouquet, I want to make sure that this stem is going to support it really well. So with just one wire, that's not quite enough support. But if I add another one and I'm just going in the opposite direction, just like an X, so if I add it in there just like that, now I've got a nice sturdy wire that I can use in a lot of different directions. So what I love about this technique is that those 4 prongs are keeping that little tip of the amaryllis in place, but I'm going to reinforce it even more. So this is a 24 gauge wire, a little bit lighter. I'm going to make a small hook in the end, like this, like I was just going to go fishing. And I'm going to slide it in there and around so that I've got a nice little hook. And now, just like a seamstress sewing fine cloth or silk, I'm gently going to wrap the wire around the amaryllis to keep all of this secure and in place. So I'm going to do that right here at the top. And then I'm going to jet down here to the bottom, and I'm going to reinforce it down here as well. I'm just going to loop through right here and go backwards, just so that I have a little bit more stability. Now you may be thinking, oh, if I put that in a bouquet, will it last? What does the whole process in that look like? Well, there are bouquets, especially in England, where the entire bouquet is wired with all kinds of beautiful flowers. And so, yes, it can totally happen. I did it. It took 6 hours to wire the whole bouquet and every single stem inside it. But I did notice whenever I came back to class the next morning, they all still looked beautiful, and we really didn't do any kind of special treatment to them at all. But the treatment that was recommended is to give them a spritz with the Crowning Glory, and then of course the stem tape. That's going to seal moisture into the stem below. So it's important that whenever you're wiring flowers that you're working with things that are already well hydrated. And then you'll also want to store it, of course, in a cool, dark place. And put perhaps a little bit of tissue or a little bit of plastic over top of it so it's completely protected. If you're considering doing something like this for an event, I encourage you to practice it whenever you have some leftover flowers so that you get comfortable with the conditions of the flowers and how they look. As with any new thing that you try, practicing before it's actually time to do it and present it to a client is key. So I don't want you to go wire an amaryllis tonight and put in a bridal bouquet tomorrow without you having the chance to actually experience it for yourself and get comfortable with the idea. Okay, so there you have it, nice wired amaryllis ready to go. And I've got my bridal bouquet here, and I can pop it right in here. We didn't do a really big focal point on the back, so we had the peonies in the front, and we were pretending we were working with maybe a little bit more of a limited budget. This is in the, putting this bouquet together is in the new philosophy of design class that we have out. And so I'm going to thread it right through the hydrangea. The hydrangea is going to be a pillow for it. gonna get it popped right in there where I'd like it to go. Nice and sturdy. Put a little bit more tape around it. If you're doing a completely wired bouquet, using stem tape is a great way to secure everything in place since it all sticks to each other. And then we'll just go ahead and wrap it back up. Thanks so much for watching, and good luck wiring your amaryllis. If this is something you'd like to see more of, let